Greetings, Droogies. Here we are in Van Nuys Airport in the city limits of LA in California in America. Something interesting happened here in the early 90s and it was bugging me all day, and I've just found out what it is and I'm going to show you at the end. So hold on to the end of the video and you'll see what happens in the end. So this is standard scenery, who's to know? So let's have a look at the aircraft itself. I don't need to talk to you because you can see it. It looks pretty good. I'm impressed with the reflections, especially as you'll see in front of the props, but it's pretty good. While we're looking at it there, the Cessna 310 was a very common charter aircraft back in the day after World War II, believe it or not, because it was a general aviation boom after World War II. So this aircraft goes back quite a bit, believe it or not. So this aircraft is pretty well modelled. It looks really, really good, I have to admit. They're all looking really, really good now. I'm not too sure about the reflections at times. I don't know what's going on with that wheel there in the front, with the nose wheel. That looks very dodgy. There's the reflections, as I said earlier on. And yeah, it looks nice. Let's have a look in the inside. Now, this aircraft has the usual full 3D cockpit and cabin. It has an operating handbook actually, and there's a little tag you can, to the left hand usually, where you can change your mass and balance and all sorts of very useful things. So it's quite useful. You've got performance charts, checklists, weight, mass and balance, interactive menus and all that kind of thing. Now, I'm not too sure about those reflections on the instruments. I'm not too sure about them. It's a bit too much. I mean, wow. Let's kick her off and let's go flying straight away. We'll just go around, come back and land, and then we'll finish up. But so far I'm impressed. I forgive the reflections and the icons for the moment, just to see how I feel. So I'm just powering up here. Forgive my rudder pedals, they are not the best at all. So I'm just trying to keep the center line. I've got these really cheap rudder pedals. So I'm just gonna just take a little bit of pressure off the nose wheel there. And up we go, up, 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 come on, let's go, up we go, positive rate, gear up. Okay, it's a fast airplane, you've got to keep it moving. It's not like a slower Seneca or something like that. This aircraft has to move, it's very, very, very heavy. So I can still hear the sound of the clattering of the gears in the ground though. So here we are again, we're just flying around and I'm just playing, open the window there, let's have a look. I love the way the sound changes. I like that. Okay, so I've just been playing with the engines. I don't know if you just heard there the sound. I'm playing with the props and the power to sync the props. If you can listen, you can hear they're out of sync. You see the little thing there in the RPM indicator? That's a little indicator to tell you that your props are synced. In other words, it makes a funny, very irritating sound when you've got to sync your props. But it works in this aircraft. That really impresses me straight off the bat. So I'm going to forgive the reflections in the glass. I'm just doing a stall here. If you haven't noticed, there's a stall warner. I just like to see how they behave in a stall. I don't know if I get a wing drop or not. I'm keeping the rudder straight. No, it's not really dropping. Let's see if I turn a bit to the left, will it drop to the right? It just loses an awful lot of height. Yeah, okay, I just recover there. But that's realistic enough, you know, that's realistic enough. Secondary stall, the second stall warner there. So let's just turn towards the airfield and I think we'll do a nice landing and have some eye candy in the nice landing. So yeah, what do you think? Well, you know, the beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So if I were flying one of these, or if I was going to fly one of these, this is a great download. It's very accurate, it's very good, I like it. Certainly if you're about to fly one. It's kind of almost study level sim, you know, it's pretty good. So I cannot complain at all. I do like it all around. I can imagine myself flying this for fun, you know, especially in VR, that's for sure. So let's pop the old gear down. It's down and down there. So we'll come in, we'll do a few circuits. There's all our lights on. There's two lights on. That's interesting. I don't think I had the failures on. Let's put them back up again. That's an odd one. Okay, they're up again. That's not. Don't have any failures on. Come on, in you come. Oh, only two. Oh, the nose wheel isn't coming down. Okay. Circuit breakers, circuit breakers, circuit breakers. Where's that button down? Where? Oh, okay, let's just try again. I should have read the manual. I should have read the manual because there should be a pump here somewhere. or something like that down again. Oh, they'll come down eventually. Sorry about this. I want to get on with the review. No. Oh, God. Where? Is it a circuit breaker? Okay. No. Okay, sorry about this, guys. I'll have to come back to you. I'll have to sort this out. And, okay, I'll be back in... Are we coming down again? Just trying this one more time. I don't want to have to... Come on. Come on. I can't even change the bulb. There's no option to do it in a second. This is... look. Okay, sorry, guys. I'll come back shortly.
Landing place is Van Nuys. The problem is the landing gear wouldn't come down all the way. It appears now to be the nose gear. I kind of came in on this late, but that's the problem. They burned off fuel. They had about 80 gallons on board this thing, and now the hope is that they'll be able to bring this thing for a safe landing in at Van Nuys. We're told from the airport that there are fire trucks and all the emergency medical personnel necessary. 2 people on board this plane, the pilot and another, and now they're coming in for a landing, I am led to believe, at Van Nuys. They've made a couple of passes by the tower here to make sure that the nose gear is having problems, and sure enough it is having problems. But the set of landing gear beneath the wings, I'm told, are fine. It's the nose gear that's the problem. And Trace Gallagher, I guess now we're going to watch and see what happens. You can tell that nose gear might even be just kind of blowing in the wind there.
Look at the engines are off there, Shep. You see that? The engines are off, and they're going to go in with a power off landing. He'll kind of lightly down on those back wheels and then gently touch that nose down, trying to keep that nose. He's worried about this thing tweaking off to the left. It's down, and this thing, you can see it dangling there, the nose gear, so he's going to try and do a kind of a tail dragger landing. Going over. And that is the best case scenario for what could happen. You didn't want that landing gear to tweak that plane to the right, so as bad as it looks, that right there is a picture-perfect landing for the circumstances, Shep.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, not a spark. It would appear that we're about to get the 2 out. The key to all of this was to cut the power, get rid of as much fuel as you could, then kind of get back on your haunches, as my grandmother might have said back in the day, so that you touch down with those 2, the landing gear that are beneath the wings, and then just sort of use the back end as a way to brace yourself, knowing that at some point it's going to tip forward, but hoping that by then your forward speed was down to the point where it wouldn't tip over itself and it wouldn't create sparks, which could cause a fire, and all the best came to be.